Tell me a time and a place. It's all the same, it's all the same. The fortune, the fame, it's all the same.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Yeah, we here. Yep, it is your San Antonio Spurs, led by Georgois, Kalakivinsky, the 56 overall GOAT, and our San Antonio Spurs. We also got AD, James Worthy, Matt Conley, Will Chamberlain, and we taking on the Denver Thuggets. Yeah, that's courtesy of King Griff. But the Nuggets are pretty stacked. They got Shaq. I don't know which version of Shaq, but they got one of the versions of Shaq. Kevin Love, Tracy McGrady. Don't know which version of Tracy McGrady, but they have a version of Tracy McGrady. They got Gordon Hayward, and they got Magic Johnson. AIDS. Okay, yeah, I won't joke about AIDS. Okay, I see how it is. I see how you gonna do me like that. Yes, I was trying to go for a dunk, but you know what? I'll take it 2 points. Okay. So, it's been pretty fun. Fun fact, it is about 9 o'clock, Saturday morning. Funny story. I did not sleep at all. It was unintentional. I was trying to sleep. I literally I closed my eyes and I could not fall asleep. So I said, screw sleep. And I've been wasting my life watching YouTube all night long. Yeah. Clearly great way to spend my life. Clearly. Yeah, let's get this. Oh, get that out of here. Shaq just got blocked by the brow. And now we are going to make, yes, my dude, let's get it. The glasses. James Worthy. Last game we won, it came down to the wire. Very good game that was. It was actually close the whole way. But we went on to win that 112-106. Mike Conley and Anthony Davis both had. Mike Conley had a huge game. He's coming off that. Oh, come on, you gotta make that. And of course, Georgois was our closer. He hit some clutch shots in that overtime. If we didn't have him, we'd be losing all these games by like 50 points. We so blessed to have him, bro. Yes, Anthony Davis is this gonna be his game? I'm still waiting to get Georgois his game, but don't worry, Georgois, your time is coming. Oh, get that out of here. Now we got Wilt blocking Shaq. Which actually is realistic, because, like, they're both the same height. Oh, another block. Yeah, like, two... In his first quarter alone, Wilt still has blocked Shaquille... No, he blocked Shaq, like, 2 times in, like, a span of 15 seconds. Supposedly the only guy who can post up LeBron James. Oh, we are breaking away. Let's go. Oh, I see you're gonna get all fancy with that shoot. Okay, yeah, that was a defensive breakdown. By the way, I gotta give a shout to Gordon Hayward. He has by far the best hair in the NBA. It's not even close. The only person who I can say even comes close to him is Jeremy Lin, and that's a bit of a stretch. Jeremy Lin and Yeah, nobody really has good hair in the NBA. I mean, Noel. I mean, Nerlens Noel l- had some pretty lit hair, but then he changed it and became lame. Shit. But yeah, Marcus Smart. He also got rid of his dope ass hair. I mean, what's up with these guys getting rid of their hair when it's good? I mean, Alan Crabb. Please, Alan Crabb, if you're watching this, do not change your hairstyle. It is perfect the way it is. And what in the world was that shot? That was a travel. I'm very certain that was a travel. Oh my god. Okay. See, this is great basketball, you see. This is this is just great basketball, man. Okay. How's this gonna pan out? Yeah. I'm just a little bit tired, after staying up all night long. But I mean, it's nothing, bro. I couldn't sleep, and I still can't, but I'm tired. It's this weird feeling that you're tired but you can't sleep, so you just don't try to sleep. And I did take about a bottle of Mountain Dew last night, so that probably had a little bit of a kicking effect. I mean, I don't drink coffee, but yeah, you guys most likely do not want to hear my life story about me drinking Mountain Dew and staying up all night. Okay, let me just walk the ball up. Worthy, yes, he is a worthy player to shoot the three. Get it, James Worthy, Worthy. Haha, no, okay, I give up. Yeah, yeah, but what's up? Like, AD and James Worthy carrying us, and get out of here. Will, I swear, Will is such a savage. Uh, I mean, I'm probably gonna release a video of what would happen if we So yeah, by the way, there is actually I got a request on Instagram for a video I should do, and it is a- and it's requesting you know, what if the best player of all time for each team played on that team right now, and if the player's there, then they're there. So yeah, I'm trying to figure out players to use. For the Spurs, probably gonna use Tim Duncan. Actually, yeah, I'm gonna use Tim Duncan because he's easily the best Spur of all time. For the Lakers, I'm having trouble deciding but I'm gonna go with Kobe. For the Celtics, another hard one. I'm trying to figure out between Larry Bird or Bill Russell. I'm gonna go with Bill Russell since I think Russell's one of. I mean, I don't know. Just comment who you guys want between Bill Russell or Larry Bird. That one's still very much up for grabs. Um, for the Warriors, Steph Curry, he's already on the team. That team does not need anything. The Rockets, greatest player of all time, Hakeem Olajuwon. Think of what that would do. Think of what Mike D'Antoni could turn that into in Houston. Ah, shit. But for Denver, I would probably say either Dikembe Mutombo or Carmelo Anthony. I'd honestly, if I'd have to choose between who's better, I would say Carmelo Anthony. I mean, I think everybody forgets that Carmelo actually played for Denver, really, because I mean it's just so the Nuggets and I mean the Nuggets have evolved so much since what happened. Oh shit. But yeah, that was actually a very good charge. Nice charge, T-Mac. Okay. Let's get right in. Ooh, white man can jump. Dirk's got hop. My dude Dirk Nowitzki. This guy's got hops, and we cannot get a steal. Yeah, Marco Rubio's on this team. This team got a bunch of. This team as the This is like right now it's filled with international players on both these teams. Yeah, Jeff Hornacek. But yeah, I'm trying to think of other players we can use for the Knicks. Patrick Ewing, obviously. The Sixers, Dr. J. AI is pretty close, but I'd have to give Dr. J the nod. Or Will Chamberlain actually. It's kind of hard to tell. Either Will Chamberlain, I don't know. Leave what you guys want in the comments, and I will try to cope to your guys' requests. Yeah. Anyway, back to the game. We're winning. Yay. God. So, good news. My new mic, it is set to come in next Wednesday, which means you will finally be able to hear audio from the game, which also means I'm gonna be starting some other game series. I'll be starting an Injustice walkthrough series. Um, and I'll probably also um be doing some reaction videos because once I get that, we all gonna be good, bro. But just waiting right now for the microphone to come in. I just ordered it last night. And yeah. Because because if anybody pays attention in any of these videos, they're not really edited. I mean, I use YouTube editor for my videos. If you guys have any suggestions for what I should use, please tell me because I'm new at this. I mean, I'm so generally new at YouTube. I've only really been doing YouTube for a couple weeks now, and I don't know what editing things I should use. I've been trying to use YouTube editor. I have my my intro. I mean, I'm actually very happy to see that the Chris Paul videos it's already reached 100 views. That is such that means so much because that video actually took a bit of time, and it's happy just to see that people, you know, they care about your product. I mean, it's pretty big. I mean, because I'm always told that I never I don't have the most self confidence in myself, but I'm just happy to see the fact that you that you guys are able to see are able to show support to me, and I'm happy that I have you guys by my side, and I wouldn't trade y'all fans for anything. Even though and it's funny because I have like 5 or 6 subscribers right now. I have nothing really right now. Hopefully one day you're coming back and watching this video maybe 5 3 4 5 years down the line, and I've reached maybe 100,000 subscribers, 100K. I don't know. I hope that's the case. I really do. I mean, but you never know. Life brings you the most unexpected things at the most unexpected times. That is deep. Um, but I mean, life is. But now I'm not gonna do a face reveal because. So I mean, future video ideas. I got asked this on Instagram. I'm happy to see somebody actually checked out my account or my Instagram. But my somebody asked me what what my plans for future videos were, and I mean I don't get really many questions, so I'm just gonna answer them because he asked them. Um, my future plans for my future videos. I mean I have this series I hope to get done very soon. I'm trying to upload at least a video of this series every day, which means I mean if if you do the math correctly, it's 14 games. Um, the series. I mean this whole road to the title with the Spurs should only last about it shouldn't last too much longer. I mean, and then after this, I'm I'm gonna give you a realization. I'll probably start some rebuilding. Once I figure out how to edit these videos, I'll probably start a rebuilding series, and I might even start, like really just turning a team into a turning young bright teams into dynasties. I probably take, the Timberwolves or the Sixers. I don't know. I mean, I'm trying to figure out teams. I'll probably give, just ask for guys suggestions of young teams that could be on the rise, and I would just love to get your guys' input on what I should do because I'm always open to new ideas. I'm so new at this. I need so much help, man. But as long as I have loyal subscribers, I'm all cool with everything here. But yeah, I'm a dude. Okay, let's get this deal. Oh god damn it. Okay. So so I'm just but I mean it was kind of cool because last night I'm looking through my no, I can't speak much. I'll be making a new account, a new Twitter and a new Instagram account just and I say just for this channel. Also, I'll be making a personalized kick or not really personalized kick, but just a kick where if you guys need to ask questions, you can go right ahead and ask me all the questions you want in the world. And but it was cool, I don't remember his username. I don't know if he's watching this. Actually, I mean, he's probably the only subscriber I have. Team Blaze It. Team Blaze It 654, I think, something like that. Um, he had quite a bit of questions for me. One of them was do I think that what do I think about? So, what are my other free agency predictions? There's a few more videos that I'm gonna get out, but I've basically gone out the major ones. I mean, Kevin Durant and Steph Curry, we all know they're saying Golden State. They're not going anywhere. Paul Millsap, I'm just gonna give you as a spoiler. I believe Paul Millsap is on his way to he's on his way. Just hear me out. To the San Antonio Spurs. No, sorry, the Houston Rockets. God damn. Yeah, he will be this off season. And Paul Millsap will go to the Spurs. I mean, this. Oh my God, Paul Millsap will go to the Houston Rockets as they are really just they're this he actually works perfectly for them because he's kind of he can play small forward and power forward. I mean, I don't know about Ryan Anderson how and I'd assume they do is just move Paul Millsap to the three, which would actually that would still work out very well because I mean if there's anything we learned, I mean guys can switch positions and I mean Paul Millsap hasn't really gone too comfortable with I mean being a power forward. I mean, he can play both. He's kind of a stretch player, but he can also drive inside. He has good handles. I mean, this season, I mean he wasn't in all. I don't think he was an all-star this year, but last season he was. And he's still one of the better and he's still one of the better one of the better yeah. I mean, he's still one of the better, defensive small forwards. But also, I mean, he's a very aggressive, and the Rockets need a small. I mean, no dis to n- no dis no dis to Trevor Ariza, but I mean, Ariza's one of. I think Trevor Ariza is a solid. I mean, he's a lockdown defender, and he's a really good role player to have, and I think I mean, the Rockets need a guy like him, but he's honestly, in my opinion, a little better coming off the bench for them. Paul Millsap makes the Rockets into a serious contender, which I think next season the West will be a three-team race. It'll be between the Warriors, Spurs, and Rockets. If everything goes how I think it's gonna go, it's gonna be between those three teams. I don't really expect the Celtics to get too much. I do expect them to make a major blockbuster trade. People saying so apparently there's talk saying that Marco Fultz and Celtics. Who knows if that's gonna happen? But I think that the Celtics and Chicago Bulls will get engaged with trade talks, and Jimmy Butler will find his way into a Boston jersey. Um, I which would mean I think that which would simply mean I think that these really this the Celtics would really have a chance to compete with the Cavs, but I still don't think they're as good as the Cavs because if they're gonna get this, they're gonna need to give up multiple key players. Avery Bradley, I don't think people appreciate how underrated Avery Bradley is. I mean, he is, in my opinion, the most underrated, and just he gets no love whatsoever, and he's probably the, I mean, and he doesn't get enough credit for what he does. I mean, I saw him in a series against Chicago and just in the playoffs. I mean, and I've been watching him the last couple of years. He's a great defender, but also he's a solid scorer. And I mean, with Isaiah Thomas, he didn't really get many chances to score this season. But that also they'd probably have to give up Marcus Smart while they're at it, which I don't think they want to do. Another guy, Marcus Smart. So I mean, he's so underappreciated. And I mean, if I remember watching him during that game against the Cavs. That game was just I mean, he and Avery Bradley are such big pieces to the Celtics, and I think, I mean, there's saying you don't know what you have until you lose it and it's gone. That's what I think would happen if the Celtics were traded. I mean, it's a high risk, high reward because I mean, it's kind of like it reminds me. I mean, the but the Celtics would still I still think though the Cavs would be better. Who are the Cavs gonna get in free agency? I don't really know. I mean, I think they're really good. I mean, they need some playmakers, and there are some guys. There's Mario Chalmers out there. Mario Chalmers. There's Nate Robinson. If anybody still cares about that dude. There's lots of guys out there. I mean, and LeBron would like them mostly because he needs a playmaker. Also, something else. The Cavs did not have Andrew Bogut. If you remember, Andrew Bogut got injured so quickly. Bogut could, I mean, if he can avoid the injuries, which has always been Bogut's problem. Because I mean, if you know, I mean, I've watched Andrew Bogut all these years. That injury with the Bucks was painful as hell to watch. I mean, I wasn't actually I didn't see it live, but I've watched it. It's really painful to watch. But Andrew Bogut's had a. I mean, although he when he's not when he's healthy, he's one of the best defensive players in the league, and we saw that when in that 73-9 season with the Warriors, and also the season before. Um, but when he's injured, it's I mean, but he gets injured so often, it's hard to really recognize what is what and which is which. But really just I do not yeah. But I think he'll make a solid return coming off the bench. J.R. Smith, if he can have a good season, I mean, just I think the Cavs will. I mean, I think their lineup is very. I mean, this lineup literally. I don't know why I was the one who looked this as stacked because Darren Williams was only about 2 years removed from his All Star appearance. Um, Kyle Korver was also about 2 years removed from his All Star appearance, and really just he wasn't too far away from when we were calling him the best 3-point shooter in the league. And I mean, or not the best, but probably and people said he was really that because people were trying to figure out who the second best shooter in the or who were the best shooters in the league. Steph Curry was easily number one, and and now you think number two is Klay Thompson easily. But like 2015, which is only a couple years ago, people were saying Kyle Korver, he's got to be number two, and it made sense because the Hawks they had that unbelievable winning streak. But I mean, I'm sorry you just have to hear me rambling on about the NBA, bros. Well, let's just focus on the game for the rest of this video. We have a 17-point lead. This is actually much easier than I expected it would be. I did not expect a game this easy. I mean, I'm not saying I want an easy game. Holy crap! And right when I say that this game's been too easy, Gordon Hayward tries to kill us. I see how it is, Gordon. Yes, AD. Oh yeah. Also, I'm a little congested right now. I mean, I'm like always congested. So what does it matter, bro? Oh, Shaq. I'm praying that they don't make this comeback. Okay, I would have literally flipped my. I'd be so triggered if they made this comeback. Yeah. Um. Oh yeah. I also be probably making a. I mean, I don't know about making a Snapchat. People are saying I should. If you really want to have me on Snapchat, add me at its_Juan808. That is my Snapchat, my personal one. I do not feel like making one for this account specifically, so we're just gonna stick with its_Juan808. That's the Snapchat I use all the time. I do not have a Facebook, so do not even try me on that one. Oh yeah, but yeah, Rick, yes. Um, but what I'm thinking of other free agents. There's not really many. Once again, like I said, there's not many major guys left. There's a bunch of minor guys like Patty Mills. There's Kyle Anderson. There's Jonathan Simmons. I think Jonathan Simmons. I don't know for sure. I think Jonathan Simmons is gonna be free agency. There's a bunch of those, there's those kind of guys. Andre Robert's not a free agent. Oh my, I don't even know. There's Dion Waiters, which I think Dion Waiters is. I mean, he's one of the most laughed at players, but he's one of my favorite shooting guards, honestly. The way I saw him take over this year in games, and I would have loved to see him and the Heat in the playoffs. I mean, we saw the Bulls come close, but the Bulls just struggled because they really can't shoot threes. I think the Heat would have actually beaten the Celtics. I think the Heat could have beaten the Celtics in 6 or 7. No diss to Isaiah Thomas and the dudes, but I mean Goran Dragic. I mean, I think the Heat should be able to make the playoffs next year if they can get Dion Waiters back. If they can get Justice Winslow to really come out, then they are really then they can have a really dangerous team. Other guys, James Johnson, I thought was so underappreciated this year. I actually thought at a point he'd be a six-man of the year candidate. He obviously wasn't because the candidates have already been announced, but he was definitely a very versatile option for his team. But yeah. So for the season, how have things been going? I haven't checked the standings recently. I'll probably check soon, but I mean, I don't really have a need to check until about halfway through the season. Free agents, I was looking, but I found out that I can't get a hold of the two other real Mambas. Mostly because, 2K only allows the free agents to go down so low. Because 2K knows those two Mambas would break their game. So, they just don't put them in the game. You see, can't be stacked if the players aren't in the game. Yeah. But I'm looking at free agents. I'll show you. I mean, I'll just give you listers. Dwayne Dedman. There's Zaza. Actually, I'm looking into Zaza Pachulia mostly so I can break some ankles. Literally. Yeah. Pretty sure San Antonio would love him after what he did. I actually wonder if San Antonio was to take him in this off season, what would happen? I don't know, man. Oh joy. Wait, is that a 2K person? Oh, wait, what? I'm gonna pretend I never saw that. Of a 2K girl taking a selfie. I tell you, I get blinded so easily. This game gives me some gruesome sights, man. Yeah, but speaking of Goran Dragic, he's one of the most underrated players, and I mean, he's probably no, he is the most underrated point guard. That's not even a question. Actually, I mean, Isaiah Thomas used to be so underrated, and he used to be this just this guy who I always had such I thought he could become an all-star, and he did, and I mean it was so fun watching him last season because I had seen this coming. I saw it coming back when he was in Phoenix. Like I just knew if he got on the right team, But I mean he was so underrated, underappreciated, and nobody really cared about him. And his first year in Boston, he's a six man. I was wondering why the hell was he coming off the bench? He's better than Marcus Smart. The second year, the Celtics finally figure out what to do, and they get him on the court. And from that point forward, things just got better. Um, he became an All Star last year, became the shortest All Star ever, and just he had this resounding part of him that I loved. You know, kind of like the next. Really, he reminded me so much of what Nate Robinson and more. Like he was he was a better version of Nate Robinson. He had the heart of Nate Robinson, and he had the skill of of an all star. And but the next year, I'm gonna give yes, it did have some. He was like I'd say the Matthew Stafford, Matthews. That's yeah, Matthew Stafford of the NBA. But he got too much hype, and people just hopped on the Isaiah Thomas bandwagon really. Um, and I was just I wasn't really I wasn't really amused by the fact that he had so many new quote unquote, all these new fans who came to he had all these new fans who came to his side all of a sudden when I knew you know, those fans, they weren't there years before. Um and just there were bandwagons is what they're called. Yeah, there were lots of them for him because I mean, these guys, I don't really even think they knew who he was before, I mean, back when he was in Sacramento. I mean, he's been to me, I've known him since since he had that cuz I remember I was watching back then it was a Pac-10 championship game and Isaiah Thomas hit that buzzer beater. And I remember thinking I remember my dad says, "Damn, you know, that kid's got a lot of heart." You know, and I kind of just I remembered who he was, and I kept track of him as he went through the NBA. And when he had that 20-point season, it was crazy, just to watch as he was developing. But slowly, I mean, he's good, and I mean, he's a solid. I mean, and he's a top 5 point guard now. I mean, I'm gonna do a rankings video also later of players and their rankings from post 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 the postseason post the postseason. But I mean Isaiah Thomas is easily right now I think should be considered a top 5 point guard. I mean he turned I mean cuz last year he was actually in that conversation kind of but he wasn't quite there yet. But now he is. I mean he's probably I'd say he's behind I'd say he's probably number 5 behind Westbrook, Curry. Yeah, yeah. So I'd say he's number 5 behind Westbrook, Curry, Kyrie, and John Wall. I'd say he's number 5. I mean, Chris Paul kind of. I mean, Chris Paul cuts it kind of close, but Chris Paul's getting old, and um, Kemba Walker makes things interesting, and Giannis. I mean, if we're gonna count Giannis as the point guard, I'd say Giannis also cuts it close. But I mean, I don't really always consider Giannis as the point guard. I consider more of him as really I still consider him as a small forward. I mean, kind of like I think him just as LeBron James, small forward, but he can play the point guard position very well. Yes. But there are so many guys who are just so don't really. But that's with Isaiah Thomas. He's a bit overrated right now, but you know what? I mean, you can go from underrated to overrated, but if I'm gonna say the two most underrated guards in the league are Eric Bledsoe and no, three most Eric Bledsoe, Mike Conley, and Goran Dragic. Mike Conley, I mean, the Grizzlies obviously don't underrate him, but everybody else does. This dude literally is on. I mean, I don't know how this guy is on his way to becoming probably the Memphis Grizzlies' best player ever. He's one of the best player right now. I think he's turning into one of the best players ever, or in Memphis Grizzlies history. Potentially on his way to Hall of Fame career. I mean, I remember actually getting to watch him in person one time. Just the way he plays is it's phenomenal. And funny story actually, I mean I remember watching just on TV just game 4 against Kawhi. He was this he looked like this scoring but also I mean he's a very good defensive player. A lot of I mean I would say the closest player I think he can resemble to me, honestly, is kind of like a Gary Payne kind of guy, but of a point guard in a much skinnier version. But Mike Conley is probably my favorite. He's one of my favorite point guards in the league. Eric Bledsoe, he was my favorite player for so long, just because of his athleticism. He was I literally thought of him as Dwayne Wade a while ago. Like, I thought of him as, just Dwayne Wade as this athletic finisher who could no, he was athletic. And he was a very, he could do a bit of everything. And with Devin Booker on the team, there's trade rumors. I mean, I really honestly, if you're trying to figure out who to get rid of, I say you let go of Brandon Knight. As good as Eric Bledsoe, I mean, as good as Brandon Knight is, Eric Bledsoe is much better. I am, I mean, I'm shocked that Bledsoe does not have an All Star appearance. I mean, I believe I don't think Goran Dragic actually has an All Star appearance. Cause I know he made All NBA third team. In 2014. That was the year I swore the Suns were gonna make the playoffs that year, but they got screwed over towards the end, and I feel so bad because everybody told them coming in the season, or nobody had any hope in them, and Goran Dragic and Eric Bledsoe completely I mean, I remember looking back at, because like I like to do is I look at old Report predictions. Bleacher Report predicted they'd win 15 games. They won 49 games and literally came a game away from making the playoffs. To a Western Conference, that season the Western Conference there was a ton of parity. You know, the Western Conference honestly could have been taken over by about 4 or 5 teams. I mean, that was a year. I mean, there wasn't the most parity, but we didn't know who was going to win the title. We knew that LeBron was going to come out of the East, but in the West, it was tough. I mean, the Clippers looked finally destined to get over the hump. The Thunder looked well. They looked deadly, like they really wanted it this time. Um, I mean, then there was the San Antonio Spurs looking like Spurs title teams that had been in the past. Um, who else was there? There was the Houston Rockets, who at the time, I mean, with Harden and Dwight and Chandler Parsons, along with Jeremy Lin coming off the bench and Omar Asha coming off the bench, and Donatas Manayonis and Terrence Jones. This Rockets team looked very, very, very. They just looked dangerous, and I would have been scared if I were to play them. Um. The Portland Trailblazers were having actually a surprise season. I mean, nobody expected to see the Portland Trailblazers have the kind of season they had. But I mean, LaMarcus Aldridge had a great year. Damian Lillard, those two great combo. But also, I mean, that starting lineup, I don't think anybody really appreciates how deadly that starting lineup was. Cause Damian Lillard, I mean, not CJ McCollum. Damian Lillard, Wesley Matthews, um, w- Wesley Wesley Matthews, um, Nick Batum, LaMarcus Aldridge, and Robin Lopez. Plus, you had guys like CJ McCollum, Noah Vonleh coming out the bench. We were all saying this team was bound for success in the future. I mean, now this was a team that had some serious misfortunes in the past. They drafted injury riddled Brandon Roy, which was not a bad pick by any means, and should get his number retired by the Blazers, in my opinion. But really just the Blazers just they had a real surprise year, I guess is what you could call it. Um, but then there was other teams. There was a young Golden State Warriors team, which I was thinking for the majority season they were gonna get, be in that top 5. And coming in the season, I actually said that at the Warriors could, if they continued to do what they did the previous season, they could, come up in that, top team discussion. Really just I thought just the Warriors were gonna make or could potentially make a run that year. They didn't. I mean the Warriors. The Grizzlies had a bunch of struggles. Um, cause like coming in the season, I remember people saying the Grizzlies had real potential to be a top. Just to be a top 3 team in the West. Coming off that Western Conference Finals appearance. But that obviously did not happen. Um, and just I was so damn shocked just by like how I thought the Grizzlies were gonna be a little better, but it was just that. And the Mavericks, they were a bit of a surprise after that this point in season, and the Suns were also really good that year too. And the Timberwolves, Kevin Love, his last year in Minnesota was honestly a year that I actually liked. Remember, because that Minnesota Timberwolves team looked like a playoff team, and and that's the case when I wish they would have it's a playoff system. I think would be kind of risky, but kind of worth it. Instead just have the top 10 teams go in. Have the 7 seed play the 10 seed, and have the 9 seed play the 8 seed. Like have one game, just because and really just it's so yeah. Well, anyway, that was me talking. While I was talking, we blew out the Nuggets, man. This was a big time win. We're 3-1. Let's not blow this lead. We had such a we had a great game. We just we I don't even think I don't really even think we were losing at all in this game. I think like in the first quarter, but that was it. We took over. Anthony Davis had 29 points, 9 rebounds, 2 assists. He is really, but we all know the real reason we won. We had the GOAT out by our sides to help guide us when we needed anything. So look, and here's your box score. Anthony Davis, 29 points, 9 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, 1 block, 2 turnovers. Mike Conley had 20 points, 3 rebounds, 6 assists, and 4 steals. Yeah, you Mike. James Worthy had 15 points, 2 rebounds, 5 assists, and 4 steals. Will Chamberlain, this guy had Will Chamberlain nearly got a double-double, but he fouled out. He had 10, 9, 1, and he blocked Shaq like 5. And all those blocks, I swear, every one of them was on Shaq. He was on a mission tonight. And 4 steals. Well, I didn't know he had 4 steals. Georgois Kalaitzakis, the GOAT, 8 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal, 1 turnover. Sam Kessel, 8 points, 1 assist. Wilson Chandler, 7 points, 1 rebound, and 1 assist. Goran Dragic, 7 points, 3 assists, 1 steal. Michael Cooper, 6 points, 2 rebounds. Dirk Nowitzki, 4 points. Dikembe Mutombo, 2 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 block, 1 block, 1 for 3 shooting. And Jeff Hornacek, 2 points, 1 rebound, 6 assists. Yeah, my dude. And 1 block. So that is it. Here's a quick team comparison if you want to see it. We took a lot. Damn, we took a lot more shots this game. We also didn't do too well from 3-point. That's usually our biggest thing. We didn't even shoot many threes in this game. We continue to struggle at the line. Oh my. They killed us on rebounds still. Like, we only got 37 rebounds. Imagine if we could at least get like 45 rebounds a game. That'd be great. We had 6 blocks. And we had 19 steals. Okay? I'm just gonna let you comprehend that in your brains. But I mean, if I were to just look at it, it looked like a pretty close game, except for the fact that we got 50 field goals in, 50 for 91. But that's that. Anyway, I'm done here. Catch me outside with the video tomorrow. How about that?